So I got rid of the magnifier. Now I'm able to pull off a couple rounds in a row and get...
Hey guys, welcome back. If you watched the AUG video a little while ago, you know that it can do this. We got nothing in it. Alright, neat, huh? But why would you want to be able to strip the barrel out with some quickness? Well, in this case, we got, emptying all that, the LMG barrel and LMG bipod. So without getting into a ton of specifics, let's go shoot the freaking thing.
Hey guys, welcome back to Triple F Shooting. Today, as you can see, we have a Steyr AUG with an LMG barrel and a Ratworks bipod. So we actually have a way to make this thing look correct. I don't know how many people saw the picture, but we were running a rail down below with just a Magpul bipod, or if you saw one of the other shorts, but we actually have the correct bipod. So what we're going to do today is very similar to the AR RPK video. We're going to shoot this thing at about 250 yards. I obviously do not have a binary trigger in this setup, so I won't be able to do the cool like burst effect stuff. But we're going to see if this barrel holds up with that bipod mounted out on the barrel like everyone hates. So here we go. I have sighted in the red dot. I've not messed with this particular magnifier on this gun, so first few shots might be a little ugly. We'll see if we can walk it in, but I do not have a ton of magnification here, so we'll see how we do. We may just ditch the magnifier. So it doesn't look terrible. So the AUG does have this nice little kind of toe plate or hooker in the stock, whatever you want to call it, that I can rest my hand in, even though it's beyond the mag. No hit. I have no idea where I'm going. So we're going to toss a couple in the dirt. It looks like high. There we go. Yeah, so we're hitting pretty high right now. So one thing I'm noticing, because I don't have that nifty binary trigger, and with this particular trigger squeeze, pumping off bursts and keeping everything dead nuts is a lot harder for me. The hits I am getting are, well, you'll see it better than I can on the little corner camera, but I'm aiming pretty much at the bottom of the target, and even though I'm potted up and everything, and I have some magnification, keeping the dot where it needs to be through that string of fire is not quite as easy as running that really big and heavy AR RPK with the binary on it. So I doubt they're going to make a binary trigger for a Steyr AUG. Throw a couple more. Not sure where a lot of these are going. You can see it better than I can, but now one cool thing about this particular setup is I do have the rotation that I need. and I can actually clock that rotation. So if I'm right-handed, I could give it a bias toward rolling to the right and being able to peel a mag a lot easier. Let's try holding on to the foregrip too and see if that gives me any more pressure. I think I found a better hold. I am able to actually get decent pressure off the foregrip. Normally you're going to want to shoot tucked in like this for support, but this is actually allowing me to kind of anchor down and get up, pull the gun really solid and hold pretty still. Well, I thought I had a better hold. I'm not sure if I'm imparting flex on the barrel by pulling that way, but it feels like I'm holding okay. It could just be my optics. Let's get rid of the magnifier and see if I do any better. I shouldn't, but you never know. So I got rid of the magnifier. Now I'm able to pull off a couple rounds in a row and get decent hits. So I may just have some flex or movement in this magnifier. It's really not supposed to matter. As far as I've ever heard, I didn't think it does. But running just the MRO with no magnification, I can't say how tight those hits are from here, but I'm actually connecting solidly. So maybe I should ditch the magnifier or get a better one. And that is it. Well, that wasn't quite as impressive as I was hoping it'd be. It might look better on those steel targets down there, especially once I ditch the magnifier. Again.
Okay, so there are a few different thoughts after shooting the AUG LMG barrel at 250 yards. Now, firstly, I probably should have messed around with my sights a lot more before I did that. I have sighted this thing in once with just the red dot, not using that magnifier, and at 50 yards everything was decent. I obviously was hitting fairly high. For some reason the magnifier made that way worse. Like my first few shots are going like, I don't know, almost a foot over the target. So I was actually aiming at the very bottom edge under it, maybe by an inch. So that was kind of an issue. Once we started making hits though, even with that magnifier, it seemed like they were kind of all over the place. So messed around with it, got rid of the magnifier, and all of a sudden everything's going a whole lot better. Still hitting fairly high. As you could see in the video, a lot of those hits were headshots, but a lot of those hits were headshots and actually holding a fairly decent group. So I do firmly believe that if I got my crap together, this barrel is very, very accurate. A couple of those, quick double taps on this super sponge of a trigger, and they were hitting, within a couple of inches of each other in that head square. So that's pretty cool. Even with, throwing the bipod on the barrel, which is like a great point of contention now, and everyone thinks that's really stupid. I mainly like this because it is the original-ish configuration. Obviously, this is a newer setup, but with kind of the older style bipod and barrel. So, all that being said, I don't know what optics I should stick with on this. If anyone has any really good luck with a certain magnifier, I would be all ears. Apparently that Vortex one just, I don't know if throwing the magnifier in front of it completely changed my zero at that distance or what was going on, but as soon as I dropped it, everything got better. Or if I should go with like a 1-to-6, but for this particular rifle and what it's supposed to do, I don't know if the 1-to-6 would live on it all the time or just when we're running this barrel. That leads me to my only real downside of the AUG. Even though it was developed to be very modular, and obviously you saw me just change the thing from a standard, even kind of short length carbine with a full 16-inch barrel over to an LMG setup, the only thing that changes is the barrel. My receiver is keeping its optics and everything else. With an AR, if I were to have an entire upper, the sights are already set to that upper. So when you do a change out of the 2 pins and drop it onto a lower, you're kind of ready to go for the most part. There may be some mild differences, but when you do this, I may not be retaining zero for the optic and receiver when I put a different barrel into it. It's probably going to be close. I've never actually tested how much shift there is. I need to do that, and probably will in the full length video on the LMG barrel. This is mainly just to show it shooting at distance. All that being said, this is so freaking cool. Like, I'm so extremely happy to have this all together the way that you are looking at it right now. Last thing, when shooting the AR RPK with all the extra weight, and I kind of went with the clubfoot stock so you can kind of hook back here. This does have kind of a hook at the toe of the stock, so you can rest your hand up in here, but you do have your mag release, you're coming in behind the mag, all that stuff. I noticed it was actually not bad at all to be in the prone and use the foregrip, just like if you were shooting from the shoulder, and lay down and maintain that same kind of stance. In that position, it feels very solid. You're able to get some pull against your shoulder. I don't know if like yanking down on that is going to impart a whole lot of pressure on the barrel. It's a pretty chunky tube, so I didn't really notice any major issues. I'm going to need to do another video without that magnifier on there and maybe with a different optic setup and see how it does that way. Anyway, all things considered, stupid happy with this. Hope you guys enjoyed the video shooting it at distance. And saw that it is fairly accurate regardless of the idiot behind the trigger. So all that, thanks for watching Triple F Shooting. We'll see you in the next video.